let me know that you can see my screen. Oh, where did everything go? There we go. All right. Can you see it?
I can, yes.
Okay, perfect. So anytime you do an out-of-state deal, you're going to go to nat.titletech.com, and we have a great help desk. So there's a number and email at the top. You've got common questions to the left, videos on the right, but we're just going to pretend like we're comfortable with the platform and start a new deal. Also, if you guys did move forward, you would receive, of course, you guys would receive training with implementation, so everyone would be comfortable using it. But we have a great team. All right, so then it's going to bring you to a map of the United States where we're going to select our customer's state. And then if you have multiple locations, then you would select the location that you're titling for under the dealership dropdown and input a deal number. So I'm going to act like I have an integration and hit load deal. From there, it would pull everything over from CDK into our platform. And then, of course, that would go into the DMV forms, save even more time. It's not required, of course. And, it's going to show not found for me, of course, because I don't have DMS. But from there, I would just manually input the VIN number if you did not integrate and hit load vehicle. It'll automatically populate my vehicle type. I would just need to select whether we're doing a cash, finance, or lease deal, and then whether we're going to do a plate transfer or not. Now, the plate transfer is solely for the purpose of fees because there's, of course, there's no system that connects every state electronically. So that's just for the fee calculation. Now, we can either run a full deal or do a fee calculation only. The full deal is going to have those DMV forms though, so I'm going to go ahead and show you that one. But of course, if you did a fee calculation only, you'd only be charged that calculation transactional fee. All right, so now it's going to have any state-specific notices for your customer state pop up. So for New York, they have an emission notice and a transfer restriction. That way, you got that handled with the customer and they can start all that instead of knowing last minute when something kicks back and you're missing something. I don't know how often that happens to you, but it's pretty nice. And then we go over to any deals that I've previously worked with. The VIN number are going to be listed here. Now, the transactional fees are only charged once per deal number. So I can go back, reprint forms. If I need to change something and recalculate the fees, I mean, it's not going to charge you each time. So you can go back and correct things if needed, and you're only charged once. Now I'm going to go ahead and load a previous deal, or you could create new deal down here, but it'll look more like it would if you integrate. If I go to a previous deal, make sure I have the correct one. 6, 2, 1, 2, 3, right here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and load that deal. And it's going to pull me over to the customer's information. Now, anything that you see in this platform that's outlined in red, that's going to be required information to do that fee calculation and print the forms. Of course, I suggest having as much filled out as possible on the front end because that's going to populate into those forms. And I mean, it's just better to have more, of course, but only things that are required are going to be outlined. All right, so we'd, of course, put in the first, last name, driver's license. You can add the address. This is going to be how, of course, it calculates those fees. I know that some states are county specific, so it does go down to the county, just so you know. Yeah. All right. Now,
So
the first time I'm sorry?
Will zip code populate the county or no?
I haven't tried it that way. But I mean, we can try it. Do you have a zip, or let me look up a cord one. That's a good question. Okay. Oh, you know what? I don't think so. No, it goes based off the city.
Oh, gotcha.
Well, where'd it go? That was strange. Hold on one second. I don't know what I did to it. Hold on 1 second.
Messed you up a little bit, sorry.
It's okay. No problem at all. Here we go. I can do this really fast. All right. So New York. No, I mean, that's a good question. I like knowing that it does not, just in case I'm ever asked again. 6, 2, 1, 2, 3. And you do have to put a deal number in there, even if you're not integrated, just so you know. I get asked that a lot. All right. And how many are you guys transacting at a month? I can't remember what you said. It was a
Are you saying
crazy
out
day
of
yesterday.
state?
Yeah, just for out of state.
Oh, 4 or 5 probably.
Okay, 4 or
Maybe
5.
more, sometimes less. It just depends on the month. And then the only ones I'm really worried about are the ones that are financing.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's why I had copied the wrong thing. Here we go. There we go. All right, so we're going to do finance. All right, so once we put in the customer's information and their address, of course, it has to have the address in there. Yeah, I thought I was there, but not yet. This one. It's going to take us over, I believe it's the vehicle information. All right. So as you can see here on the left, I know it's loading. I'm working remote today, so my internet is not like when I'm hardwired in at the office. So it's going to have a green checkbox. Like the first time I'm filling it out, it has red boxes. So if you're missing something that's required, it's going to have that red box. It won't even let you print the fees or print the forms and calculate the fees. But it's going to take us down to our vehicle information. So it did pull the VIN number from that first page. If you're doing used, you would just need the previous title state. And then I needed to know whether it's private or commercial, but everything else pre-populated for me based off the VIN number, just so you know, the first time I filled it out. But of course, if there's anything missing that has a red outline, just fill that out and select next. Then we have
I
our
have a question.
trade-ins. Yeah, go ahead. If you have any questions, just feel free to
Yeah,
interrupt me. I don't mind.
on what is the purpose of needing to know what the previous state was that it was titled in?
Now it's not
I,
going to say that in every state, but New York, they do require, if it's in here, then that means it's key information for that state that they
okay,
require. Yeah.
so yeah, if I'm doing somebody, let's say a customer is coming in from Kansas or Texas, that probably is not as stringent on their fees and emissions and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
probably won't need that. Right? Is that what you're saying? Or are you not
Um,
sure?
well, it just depends on the state. So I'm not sure because I haven't demoed every state. I don't know exactly which one's required or not. But I mean, if you can put in any state, if you just need to get that P calculation, you can always go back and change it once you get a definite answer.
Because
But
we made
yeah,
up.
yeah, I know, but I can't remember. I'll ask my manager because I know that this was brought up on somebody else's demo. Um, and I'll just kind of ask, how you would go about that. But I know for just getting that fee calculation for them, because that's not going to affect the fee calculation. It's just something that's required for the DMV forms for New York. But I see every time I do a new state through our system, it'll look different because it's just tailored to every state and what's required based off that address.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, but yeah, that is required for this New York deal. But again, since I don't know the answer to that, I will get that back to you on that though. And then we have our trade-ins information. So in the case you had more than 4 vehicles traded in, hopefully that would never be the case, but you just give us a call. We can manually add them. Otherwise, you would just add the VIN number, hit load, and it would pull all the information, kind of like the last page, based off that VIN number. And you can add a trade-in lien holder as well. And then we would go to our purchase information. Now, this page is really important. It's going to work like a calculator, so it has to have a numeric value in each space. It's important that no one guesses or estimates on any of these charges or add-ons, just because it's going to affect that fee calculation. Of course, in the case that it was wrong on our end, we do reimburse the dealership. That way you're not eating the cost or going back to the customer. But you would just put in the sales price, whether or not you're shipping the vehicle. If you were, you just add on your shipping charges. New York allows you to put on the freight charges, extended warranties, dealer rebates. Sometimes this will only have 3 or 4 fields. So it's all going to be based off what New York, allows you to charge. And then,
Will it populate for my DMS with the deal number or no?
right, it will. Anything that is in CDK will transfer over to our platform.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So, and then our NAP processing fee, I'm just going to spend a little bit of time here. So this is going to be where you can either break even or make some profit by using the system. That's why I tell people, I'm like, even with cash deals, just to make it where you're doing all of them the same, because the cash deals are really easy through our system as well. But you can charge back the customer. Like most people will charge back $200, anywhere from $150 to $200. So in total, sorry, my battery low sound just came on my headphones. I'm grabbing my other ones really fast if you don't mind.
Okay.
So give me 1 second, okay? I don't want it to go out and you not know. Okay, caught them before they died. Got my charger. Okay, so people usually put in anywhere from 150 to 200 here, but the transactional fees break down into 2 fees and total to $90.98. And I'm going to send you a demo recap that goes over all the pricing, even DMS pricing, and then I'll attach the link for our demo as well. But it's $34.99 the first time you run that fee calculation on the deal number. And then it's $55.99 for the DMV form. So that's where we're getting that $90.98. Which you can just charge back the flat rate of $90.98 and then pay the $90 monthly subscription. But like I said, what most dealerships do is they charge it back and up the price a little bit. That way it covers the monthly subscription, and then it can even cover your DMS integration off the second deal. You know what I'm saying? So, and then bring in additional revenue for the third and fourth and fifth deal, So I don't know, do you guys charge a doc fee?
We do charge a doc fee, yes.
Okay. Is there, I'm not familiar with your state on if there is a limit to the doc fee. I know Texas has one, so that's why I ask.
We are at our limit, yeah.
You're at your limit. So I will get with my manager again. I had somebody in Texas. I know we've signed up dealerships that are still charging. I think that they said they either worked it into their sales price or it's listed as a separate line item. So I know it's legal in every state. But it will be listed separately, and you just say this is, for completing the full registration for you. You don't have to go into the DMV. We're going to take care of the whole process.
It's a $91 monthly fee.
It's a $90 monthly subscription with $90.98 per deal number. Of course, the first time you run the deal. And then, but like I said, you can charge it right back to the customer right here.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure I got it correct. So it's $90 a month, and then for every deal that we run, it's an additional $90.98.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm going to charge back 200. I've done the numbers before. I think it was like I mean, I know you can charge or cover the monthly subscription, and then the CDK integration I think is 130. So it takes about two or three out of state deals to cover the cost, and then, go from there.
Worst case scenario though is if we don't do any out of state deals, it's going to cost us $90
Yeah,
for the month.
that's worst case scenario. Yeah, but if you do 5 in a month and upcharge it, then you can kind of cover those months with the additional revenue you made in the month you had 5.
Gotcha.
That's yeah. That's how my last demo explained it. They were like, well, we do have months where we don't do it, but if that can cover the cost of those, then it kind of works out and breaks even. All right, so then we can add a trade-in allowance and select next. And it's going to take us to our lien holder information. All it's requiring is the lien holder name. You can add additional lien holders. You can add the code, FEIN, primary and mailing address, and then select next. And it'll take us to our registration information. Again, when I'll demo a new state, it'll look different. New York wants to know the county, the city, whether or not it's within the city limit, which is something you'd ask the customer, where I'm sure it's a quick Google search, but they should know that. And then, of course, if the insurance information is in CDK, it would pull over. You have the option to fill that out. It is not required. And then we can request a paper title. Now, at this point, you can choose whether you want to use the DMV location or a private tag agency. I know private tag agencies have a little more incentive to get the registration completed in a timely manner than the DMV. Now, we will list the fees for each private tag agency that we partner with for that state. And if your customer doesn't mind paying an additional fee to get it done quicker, you can give them that option. Otherwise, you would just select the DMV location and it'll list it right there for you.
Okay.
Now I'm going to calculate the fees. Now this is where I would initially be charged the $34.99 for that fee calculation the first time I'm filling it out. And it'll take us to a line-by-line breakdown of where we're getting those fees, list the percentages. It allows you to print it off if your customer wants a copy, and it's going to include that NAP processing fee that we charge back, like I said, in a separate line. So we have the New York total taxable amount of $7,000. Also, our demo partition state is Florida. So you're going to see our amount due to Florida. Just disregard that. Unless your state has a reciprocity tax, that line wouldn't be there. So we're hypothetically located there, the Title Tech dealership. All right. So the other amount, you'd pay attention to is the total amount to collect. This would, of course, go to New York, and this is what the dealership would keep.
Okay.
All right. And as you can see, we have the line-by-line breakdown as well. And then we're going to give you those state-specific notices again, and then you'll see them again on the checklist. So there's 3 chances to see all those and communicate those to your customer. We can print the fees right here or hit print registration forms, and this is where we would initially be charged the remaining $55.99 out of that $90.98. Okay, so can you see this well? Because sometimes it's small on the other screen.
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. So as you can see here, anything that was filled out on the front end is going to be in our forms. You can go through and check off additional information. Oh, goodness. Here we go. And then we're also going to flag if there's a wet signature required. With every deal, you're going to see some of the same Title Tech forms. So we're going to let you know to pay close attention to the check payable to section. That way there's no delay in processing. We'll give you a title application checklist as well. Oh, first, here's the notice of lien. This has the yellow signature boxes. New York requires a wet signature, and we're going to flag you and let you know that.
Okay.
Sometimes I do a demo and there's no signature boxes to show, but we will, flag anything very specific, that is pertaining to that state. All right, and then we have our title application checklist. Anything that you see in red is going to be the most common mistakes that DMVs are seeing dealerships make that kick back the paperwork. New York has a lot. I'll demo sometimes and there's no red. So California surprisingly doesn't have a lot of red, but New York does. So I guess there's a lot of mistakes made with them. But this is for your peace of mind. Of course, we do ask that you submit it with the paperwork to the DMV. And then down here, we're going to provide you with the payment information. So if you are using the private tag agency, you would make the check payable to the top box, and the bottom box is if you're using the DMV.
Gotcha.
Okay, because I know I've had title clerks say that they just made it out to the DMV name and it kicked back because it needed to be something very specific that wasn't the name of the DMV. So I know that's those kind of things can be really frustrating with out of state. All right, and then we're going to always provide you with mailing instructions. So you don't have to do any online searching. We're going to have not only the address, but we'll provide you with the phone number in case you have any questions. You can give them a call. Of course, we're kind of trying to eliminate you having to do that, but we still give you that piece of information. And then also we will provide you a space to put the contact name, phone number, and email address of whoever you would want to designate at your dealership to, in case the DMV has any questions, needs to reach out to somebody, that could be where the point of contact goes. We can also populate any of this where it pre-populates into the system. So not only would you have integration, but if you wanted that NAP processing fee to be charged to every customer so that people can't try to work deals and waive that, because that's definitely something that I hear a lot. The finance manager's like, I don't want any sales guys to waive that NAP processing fee unless I have authority to do it. So we can set it where only the administrator on the account can change that or waive it, and it will automatically populate. Then we have our license plate destination form. So you can choose whether you want it to go to the the customer or the dealership. You just add the name, address, phone number, and then select the shipping options. More state-specific forms all filled out for New York, and we're almost done. This is the title tech not deal summary. So anything that was input into the front end of the system is going to be condensed to one page. Everything about the car, customer, and all the charges. So again, we ask that you submit it with that paperwork to the DMV.
Okay.
More state-specific forms. We've got our odometer and damage disclosure statement with another wet signature required. And that's it. As you can see, it doesn't take much time at all, especially if you're integrated. I know most people that I sign up have CDK, and we actually dropped our price from, I think it was like $300 a month for integration to $130. So I don't know what happened there, but we dropped the price. I guess we really partnered with them.
Whenever you're saying integration, so if we wanted integration, it's going to be an extra 130 plus 90.
Yes, monthly.
So $220.
Yeah. So that's when I would suggest charging back the 200, which is usually the sweet spot of where I see people charging back. That way you can do, 3 out-of-state deals will cover you.
Mm-hmm. So, but otherwise, if we're not integrated, then we just have to input all the information ourselves.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Luckily, it populates into the forms, but yes, on the front end, if you were not integrated, then yes, you would just have to manually fill that out.
Okay.
So I'm curious, do you have any feedback for me? What kind of stands out to you that you like? Any concerns?
I don't know that I've ever done a deal in New York, so I'm assuming that Texas, Kansas, New Mexico places are probably not going to have nearly as much paperwork. That looked like it was about 20 pages of stuff that we'd be printing out, right?
Yeah, this is 16 pages.
Okay, is that normal?
New York has quite a bit. California actually, I mean, they have a lot, but you can do it in PDF. Now, of course, for the wet signatures, they do have to sign. Um, but it just depends. Some states, the demo is really short because there's not a lot attached. It's just New York requires a lot. I mean, the checklist is like all red. I kind of show New York so that you can see those features in our software. I mean, if you want me to open up a different state, I can show you another one real quick. I don't know how much time. I
No,
know it's first of the month, but
I don't think
okay.
that's necessary.
Okay.
I just needed to know, how easy it was going to be, what with the integration, without the integration, what the fees were, all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
at this point, we're talking $90 a month with no integration, and then it's going to be an additional 98 for everything else per customer, right?
Right.
As far
Yeah.
as calculating and then printing the forms.
Yes.
Okay.
But that's,
And
of course,
then,
before charging it back.
yes, I know. No, I know. You
Okay.
can put it for a certain amount of money in there. Otherwise, it would be an additional 130 if we integrated it, and that would put everything into all the information into that deal.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, which integration, I'm not going to lie, the integration saves a lot of time.
Sure.
Now, I say a lot of time. Manually filling it out does not take me long. I mean, it's, of course, if you're missing information, sometimes that can slow it down, but you can always save, come back to it. But I mean, integration does help a lot.
How long does
Because
it
I
take to set
mean,
up the integration?
with CD, on this takes an average of 3 to 5 days to get all set up.
Okay. All right.
We would need like the store number. There's an integration additional form on the DocuSign. It's actually one of our easiest DocuSigns to send out and get back. Some of them for our other products are just so long, but this one is really easy. Our implementation team, I've seen them turning it around in like 1 to 2 business days. So, and
then, so we have touchscreen monitors. If we
uh-huh.
can do a digital signature, can they do it right there on the touchscreen monitor?
I believe so.
Okay.
I know that, I mean, I know we're trying to avoid having to call, but and it might be a quick Google search. I know that DocuSign does count as a wet signature in some states.
Mm.
Unfortunately, it doesn't show that part. I wish that was something that they would add because that would be a big time saver. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'll double check on that because I don't want to veer you the wrong way. I would think so, but that's not 100%.
I'm just saying the
I will.
majority of the people that we do that are out of state, they're here at the dealership. We don't really do any outside the dealership deals.
Yeah.
So if we can just sign it right there on the screen, that would make it a lot easier. Otherwise, we're
Yeah.
just gonna have to, and we're gonna have to print forms anyway, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because you'll have to mail it off to the
Okay.
DMV.
So that's not
Mm-hmm.
that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I will send you the demo recap and give me a minute to upload our demo. That way you have a link and you can show it and pass it to whoever you would like. When's a good day to follow up with you? I mean, how soon would you want this implemented should you guys move forward?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Not 100% sure. So let me get with my guys and let them see everything that I just learned, and we'll kind of go from there.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll send you that email. And if you don't mind, I'll follow up with you Friday, maybe Friday afternoon, just to kind of touch base.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds
Okay.
good.
Sounds good. All right. Well, thank you so much, Terry. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.